welcome back to my channel. I will be your K-drama queen for today. And in this episode, I'm thinking of doing something a little bit different than what I've been usually doing in these K-drama queen episodes. And I'll be reviewing not one, not two, but 3 dramas that coincidentally all finished this month, and I just happened to watch all of them and like, to a certain extent, all of them, and that's why I'm here today to share my thoughts on these dramas. So, without further ado, let's get into it. But before we do that, quick spoiler alert for those of you who have not seen or maybe finished these dramas. Pause this video right here because I am not responsible for whatever I'm going to say beyond this point. So if you do not want to hear any spoilers, pause this video, finish watching these dramas, and come straight back so we all can have tons of fun together. So the first drama is Maiweii or Fight My Way. And here, the cast was honestly a killer cast, like in pretty much all the dramas I'm going to talk about today. But that wasn't actually the reason why I committed to this drama and I watched it all the way until the end. There was something fresh about it. There was this feeling that I've been recently getting from a few different dramas here and there where there's no really cliches, the ones that we're all used to, where there's, let's say, this really famous or rich heir to a conglomerate company, and then there's this Cinderella-like girl who has such a tough life and then she falls in love with him and na. This drama had nothing of that, and that's what made it so relatable. It's just simply about 4 childhood friends that are going through life together, and it's illustrating the kind of changes that they're going through. I really loved the entire theme and idea of people usually dreaming big when they're young and the sky's the limit and they feel like they can do anything and all their dreams are gonna come true and their life is gonna be so perfect, but then reality kicks in and you get a little bit older and you realize the way the world works, and sometimes things don't work out the way we think they will. And what I especially love about this drama is that it makes it okay. It says it is fine to fail. It is okay to go through all these seemingly unnecessary years of experience, but in the end they all are going to matter because that's what makes you special. And I felt this kind of theme going throughout all the characters, the entire plot. Everything was kind of woven around this idea of growing up. With that said, this whole theme and idea behind this drama unfortunately did not save it in my eyes because the plot was wonky. The relationships between characters I felt like weren't fully developed, between some, not all. It was good while it lasted, but now that it's over I don't really miss it, if it makes sense. I felt like the ending was really good in a way that it concluded everything. There were no loose ends, but then at the same time there were so many weird plot lines that got introduced kind of out of nowhere. Like, I did not see the necessity of introducing the mother of the announcer girl as the landlady of this entire apartment. Also, her son, Namil, what was even happening with him? He was so weird. His character was first introduced as a jerk, then he suddenly got feelings for the announcer girl. Sorry, I forgot her name. But then he's also portrayed as this broken soul who has never been loved because he's not the real son, and yada yada. Like, what? These kinds of major character changes are worthy of the main character, and he's just one of the side characters out there. Like, that was too much. It was a bit too complicated. He just popped out of nowhere everywhere, and it was just unnecessary in my eyes. I also felt like there could have been so much more story developed behind Dongman and his young sister who was in a wheelchair and disabled, and I just felt like they didn't show much of her character. She was just this meek little quiet girl. She probably had like 1 line in the entire drama, and there was just so much more potential. That's what I'm trying to say, but it was all just flushed down the drain without ever being revealed or developed in any way. One thing I will give the plot, it was a really good mystery as to why Dongman couldn't fight, and it lasted for a long time, and I really appreciated it. It was nice to kind of get my brains moving and try to figure out, oh, what could it possibly be? So that was kind of nice. When it comes to the characters, my favorite one by far was the coach. Oh my goodness, he was so adorable and so cute, and just he brought a smile to my face every time he appeared on screen. I wish he had more airtime, but the person I wish did not have any airtime was Dongman's ex-girlfriend. Oh my goodness. Let alone her character, the most annoying character in the entire world, so props to the actress who played her. But can I just please point out her fashion? I mean, are you serious? Why does every rich person in a K-drama has to be represented as a person who has absolutely zero fashion sense? I mean, have you even paid attention to the costumes she was wearing at the very beginning? I understand I'm being judgmental right now and this is just one man's opinion, but I also feel like she got off way too easy at the end of the show. I feel like she shouldn't have been forgiven. I felt like there shouldn't have been any pity for her because she really made Dongman suffer for years and years, and forgiving her just so easily, I don't know. My vengeful personality just did not want to agree with that. One last character I want to mention was the one that I resonated with the most, and that was the girlfriend of Juman. She was one of the 4 childhood friends, and there was just something so relatable about her in my case, because I've been in a committed relationship for a while, not as long as she has, but there was something about her growth as a character that beat every other character in this drama. She really started from this timid, absolutely selfless little girl to growing up into someone who was still caring about others, but she was more selfish in a way, but I don't want to say it in a bad way. She just learned how to care about herself, and I felt like I've gone through that process as well at some point. So it was a pleasure for me to see this character develop. This was one of the relationships that I enjoyed the most in this drama, because the relationship between the announcer girl and Dongman was just like any other relationship in any other drama. It was new, it was exciting, they just started dating, and there was this passion everywhere. But with these guys, it was a different side of relationships that we don't usually see in other Korean dramas, so it was really refreshing to watch. As for soundtracks, really quickly, it was really well done, and they kind of reminded me of the soundtracks to Strong Woman The Soon because they were so funky and punky and awesome, so I had a lot of fun jamming to them at the beginning or at the end of every episode. So overall, what I'm gonna say about this drama, I probably would not watch it again. It was alright. The theme and the idea behind it was really, really well thought out. However, I felt like the execution in terms of production and the plot was just a little bit lacking, so I would probably give it a 6 or a 7 out of 10, which is still a really good rating, so yes. Do I recommend you to watch this? Yeah, go ahead, it's really fresh. Do I think you're gonna absolutely fall in love with it? I don't know. Right, now I'm moving on to drama number 2, and this one was my favorite out of all the 3 that I'm gonna be talking about today, and it was The Ruler, Master of the Mask. Those of you who have seen my other K-Drama Queen episodes, you guys know that I have this soft spot for historical dramas, so I feel like I was a little bit biased towards it, wanting to like it a lot more. However, I stumbled upon it completely by accident. A lot of you have asked me a question about how I managed to watch so many dramas, and the answer to that is, I don't have a life. I watch dramas whenever I eat, and I eat around 3 to 4 times a day, and to me, that's kind of like a ritual. I watch a drama while I make food, I watch it while I'm eating, and I watch it while I'm cleaning up. So that can take around an hour and a half, which is around an episode or an episode and a half of a drama. So in a day, I can watch up to 4 or 5 episodes. So one day, when I sat down to eat, I realized I was caught up with all the dramas I was watching, and I wanted to check out something new. I saw the first historical drama on the list on a website that I watch my dramas, and I clicked on it and it ended up being this, and I do not regret this decision at all. The plot was amazing. Once again, the cast was brilliant, and there was just so many intricate details about the relationships and the development of the plot. Like, this is a drama that should be studied, of how you write a plot well. There was no unnecessary moments, there was no unnecessary little plot lines that would just kind of go nowhere or were just filler type of plot lines. As I said, the characters were amazing. I felt like everyone was relatively well placed. However, at some point I actually started not liking the main female lead. Interestingly, at the beginning of the drama, I really hated Daemok's granddaughter. She was so stupidly annoying. She had feelings for the crown prince, but then at the same time she would do bad things to him and sabotage him and just make his life difficult, but then she would justify it with some really weird means, and I was just like, girl, what's wrong with you? However, at the end, as her love actually developed much deeper, I grew to love her character. Man, I did not cry at any other point in this drama apart from when she died. I felt like it was so unjustified. I felt like she had so much more to live for in her life, but then at the same time, I felt like she really found peace with her death. So it was really noble, and that just whole moment of the production and everything was so well done. I really, really loved that scene. So when it comes to the female lead, my opinion of her kind of switched in a similar way, where I really, really liked her as a character in the beginning. She was strong and educated, but then as the drama progressed, she died down. Some of you may disagree with me, and please do that. The comment section is all yours. I just felt like the drive of her character was lost. Something switched. I don't know what. I can't put my finger on it. If you guys feel the same thing, please let me know what is it I'm feeling, because I cannot figure it out. The one thing I have to say about the Crown Prince is, oh my god, them pauses. He makes such long pauses between every single word he says. His sentences last for like a minute. And I get it, he's trying to sound all righteous and dramatic and just like, ugh, but yeah, it was a bit too much at times. Speaking of dramatic moments though, oh my god, the ending scene with Demok's death. Wow, what a dialogue, what a scene, what a production, just everything was perfect. And this idea where every hero needs an enemy to actually turn them into a hero, that goodness cannot possibly live in this world without evil. My mouth was literally dropped the entire scene. I was just shocked and mind blown by how amazing it was. I also enjoyed the sudden evilness of the queen because I actually felt like she was a good character for a good amount of the episodes, but then bam, she wanted to poison the Crown Prince. What a plot twist. Really well done. I actually fell for her good act, and I did not expect her to be a bad person in this drama whatsoever. I'm not gonna speak too much about the production or the soundtracks because usually those things are really well done when it comes to historical dramas, and this was no exception. So overall, I would probably give this drama an 8 or a 9 out of 10, which is really high. I would definitely recommend anyone to watch it. If you like historical Korean dramas, this one is definitely for you. It is gonna keep you excited for a very long time, so you're welcome. And the last but definitely not least drama that I'm gonna talk about today is Suspicious Partner. And this is the drama that got me confused the most out of all the dramas I talked about today. Some of you may know I judge a drama by the first and the last episode, and this one failed. Both. Throughout the entire first episode, I didn't like the drama at all. I thought it was superficial, I thought it was too cheesy, there was no substance, and I was just bored. But the last minute or so of the first episode absolutely saved this drama in my eyes. And that was because, spoiler alert, Bonghi's ex-boyfriend got killed. And she even got accused of that. Immediately threw away all my negative thoughts about this drama, and I wanted to watch more and more. And it really did get interesting. Whenever the crime was the central main point of the plot, it was brilliantly done. I really liked how they were first showing us this forensic guy as the killer, but then it turned out to be a completely different person, which, by the way, that actor did an amazing job of playing a villain. Such a good, like, evil gaze. So whenever there was an investigation of some kind of crime, this drama was super interesting, but then whenever it would turn to its romantic side with the lovey-dovey stuff, I was just like, bleh, boring. And I'm not saying that because I don't like romantic comedies or romantic dramas, I just feel like they don't have a lot of substance if it's not done right. And what disappointed me the most was the last episode because it ended way too easy. It was so disappointing and anticlimactic, and the guy just kind of sat there and admitted everything in court, and yes, he got baited into doing it, but there was no plot twist, there was no drama, there was no suspense. I wasn't sitting at the edge of my scene thinking, oh my god, what's gonna happen? I wanted there to be some kind of big dramatic moment at the end, but there was none, and that was boring. So I didn't like the first and last episodes. I liked the middle where the cases were being discussed and they were so interesting. However, once again, in the middle there were some really weird moments that just happened, and I was like, why is this even relevant? Why is this happening? Like, that guy who could read minds? I didn't know that this was a superhuman, superpower drama. The amnesia of the main villain, I mean, come on, how cliche can you get? And the last one thing that I didn't enjoy about this drama was the fact that the head prosecutor was pretty much the biggest villain throughout the entire drama. Everything he did was wrong. He screwed up everyone's life, and then somehow they all got brought together and their lives got intertwined. I mean, that's a bit overreaching, like too many coincidences. Oh, he put your dad behind bars, and then he orchestrated the fire, and then everyone's parents or everyone's lives got screwed up by this one person. Could happen, but it's very unlikely, and I just felt like, couldn't you come up with someone else? There are plenty of bad people in the world. Why did it have to be just this one guy who was bad? I don't know, it just wasn't really settling well with me. With that said though, it was a good drama. Would I recommend you to watch it? Yes. Will you enjoy it? I think so, if you like crime-related dramas and if you are okay with slight moments of romance here and there. I wasn't really a fan of the romance, even though it was Ji Chang-wook, who I am a huge fan of. I didn't really feel much. When it came to the romance in this drama, the kiss scenes were nice. And with that said, this is the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this wasn't too much for you guys. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. If you liked the dramas, if you didn't, if you're gonna watch the dramas now based on this review, do let me know. I do read the comments and I really love to interact with you all. And with that said, I hope you're all looking forward to the next week and I'll see you all next week. Bye. 안녕.